Welcome to Shelby Parks and Rec in the News. I'm Mike Adams. Today we're going to talk about a plethora of things coming up here in the Parks and Recreation Department. Today we have Mike Ward with us. Mike, thanks again for joining us. As always, just a ton of stuff going on. There's never a downtime, it seems. Races are as popular as ever. You think that we'd hit a plateau, but you do a great job with the races, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger and better and better. Let everyone know what's coming up here.
Okay. First of all, there's the Veterans Run that's coming up on Sunday, November 5th. I'm no longer the official race director. I provided some assistance for him. And that's, again, at Sunday, November 5th in the morning. For more details, you'd have to contact the supervisor's office at 731-5154. Or you can go to not Run Michigan, but it would actually be eastsideracingcompany.com would have information on that one. We also, later in the year, I'll come back to the Jingle Bell Run last, which is next. But on April 20th, we are officially announcing that will be the third annual Glow Run, which is an incredible run, as you know, because you've participated in the past over at Cherry Creek. And Earl Weber is really excited about it. He wants us to help grow the numbers and make it an even bigger event. And that was an awesome night run on the golf course that still everybody talks about everywhere I go. Very successful with the giant pizza party now. So we're excited about that. And got a little time before that one comes in.
Yep.
But time creeps up on you quickly, so making sure that we get people the date early on so they can plan their schedules for it. So, and the big one, of course, will be the 8th annual Shelby Township Jingle Bell Run. Take a lot of pride in that one. It's 100% of the proceeds go to the charities with all the races that I'm involved with, frankly. And last year we donated over $12,000. We had over 600 participants, which was good to see the numbers back up. And happy to announce, hopefully we'll be able to do that again and maybe even more. Part of what we'll be doing again is like we did last time, is we have a lot of raffle prizes to draw people. I think the Piston and Red Wing tickets will be an exceptionally high priority item for a lot of people, being it's at the new arena. The Hyatt Hotels, who helped me with other charity events, have donated a room, and we're hoping for the hot air balloon ride, if that will come through, and so on. So it's nice to be able to give people an additional incentive to come out. And it's frankly, I want to thank everybody in the community, the businesses that donate, whether it's money or it's products like this or gifts or whatever, because it helps get more people out. And the more people that can come out and walk and run it, the better it is for us as well. So,
why don't you briefly touch on where each one of these races are for someone that might just be getting into running. Touch where each race location is and how do they go about registering for these races.
Okay, the Veterans Run is going to be right on the township grounds. It starts basically right by the Parks and Rec building. We do a big giant double loop around the township grounds, which includes the May-Stecker Park and the lake, and around the whole complex, starting and finishing right next to the War Memorial, which is part of what we're hoping for that one. And again, eastsideracingcompany.com has the information for that, or the supervisor's office as well. Our annual Jingle Bell Run, as we know, is actually starts and ends at the Senior Center. Okay. The Senior Center / courthouse / library building. We have a nice warm building before and after, and all the food spread and all. And we go through the junior high, across the football field. We open up the fence. We drop you on to the golf course. We take you through the golf course to the north end, and then we open up the fence. And you're into May-Stecker Park and the lake, and it's just an unbelievable walk and run. And everybody comes in Christmas outfit, which makes it even more precious. And
Santa Claus outfits.
Oh, you see everything. There's the famous outfit from Christmas Story, when Ralphie has to go up and put his aunt's outfit on. There are two ladies that run that almost every year. And the running Christmas tree is another big one that we have as well for that. And that one's right on the grounds. And then the Glow Run, of course, will be at Cherry Creek Golf Course on the back 9 holes. That's just an awesome event as well. I'm really proud of that one. It's a shorter time window, but very successful. There's one other one you'll hear about in May that we did last year that I'm helping the Kiwanis with, and that was a stadium run that'll start and finish at the new, well, it's not new anymore, Jimmy John's Park. Was tremendously successful.
I missed that one. I want to definitely get into that one next year.
What's nice about that one, it starts and finishes at the stadium, but it incorporates the trail and takes everybody right into Riverbends. What a good opportunity for you and I both. Here you are working for Parks and Rec, me as an outsider, both trying to promote the park and the benefits that it provides for everybody in the township, and just awesome.
Beautiful area, and inside what they did there with Riverbends and the stadium itself. I definitely got to get in that one next year.
There's a lot of races and events, but it's a matter of finding a good one that supports the good charities. And let people know, look for things like that. Do they give medals to the top 3 in each age group? Do they give the overall awards? What other things do they do as an incentive for it? One of my little things is chocolate milk has become a monster hit. And I've become an addict myself now. After my runs, I'll take nice cold chocolate milk drink, and it's amazing. Those are all the little things that collectively add up. Knowing that all of the proceeds, and when you look at races, please be careful. A lot of the races can be very misleading. You're thinking that all the proceeds are going, and maybe 2 or 3, 4% of it.
Right.
And personally, I have an issue with that because people aren't being upfront. I let people know all of the races that I'm involved with are all 100% to the charity itself as well. And that's an important part of it as well. The other thing too is if anybody has medals that they've earned at different races, that's the big thing, of course, is you finish your race and you get a medal. Yep. Anything that's above a 10K, a larger medal size, my very good friend Joe Burns, who many of you know in the running community, and does a big charity run back to the beach and donates $35,000 to $40,000 to various groups and so on. And our Parks and Rec have received benches and things from it as well. Yes. And he collects the medals, the big ones that runners donate. Okay. There has to be a medal that they actually earned and finished. It's not extra medals that were left over at the finish line. And I helped them at the expo for the recent run, and it's amazing. People will donate their medals. They re-ribbon those, and we go out to the hospitals and we deliver them to the kids. Oh, that's cool. And it is unbelievable. So part of what we'll have is our Medals for Medals bucket there as well as part of our race. And of course with all the raffle prizes, that added incentive too. So.
Yeah, and we've seen the benches were actually in the back. I seen them yesterday back there that were donated, and they look beautiful. And those benches look really great in the parks, and we definitely appreciate that. And we definitely appreciate everything you guys do. Obviously with Special Olympics, Joe, myself, we're all involved with that. And it's a great cause, and I know the athletes really appreciate it.
Well, what's nice with the Jingle Bell Run is that the money goes to 8 or 10 different charities. Cattail Acres, Penritten Center for kids with multiple disabilities, Special Olympics get some of that money. We've donated to the veterans in the past, the Burn Center, we helped the fire department with that, National MPS, the Hope Water Project, and the World Wildlife Federation. I now join that group for preservation of tigers and elephants and things like that. And it all, that benefits us all. So that's part of what it is. Big thing that I could use from people out in the viewer land here, if anybody's interested in being a volunteer, we do need volunteers to man the course and help us manage it. So it's a very good race. And I also need sponsors. I'm going to hold up the shirt from last year's race, and the back side of the shirt has a completely full list of all the major people that donated in one form or another. And it's funny because when I went over to the shirt company, EA Graphics, they said you can't call with any more sponsors because we don't have anywhere to put their logos on there. So what we'll do is start them going down the arm. But that's a good thing. That means the businesses in the community, small and big and in between, are willing to help us sponsor. 100, 200, 250 is not a lot. It's not like asking for $5,000 or $10,000, but collectively adds up. So we need those sponsors, whether it is money or donating tickets and something like that, or to get involved. And one of my favorite stories from this goes back probably 6 or 7 years is AEW. They stepped up, Roy Rose and company stepped up and decided they wanted to help us with the run. So they donated $500, which they've done every year. And in addition to that, they sent out an entire crew that managed my parking. And as a race director, there are certain things that can be real headaches to manage, especially the day of a race. They take care of the parking part of it along with our great police department. And I don't have to worry about that. I've got other things I can concentrate on that are more critical, So
yeah, the sponsors and the volunteers are really key. And I know running in the Glow Run, you would think, what am I going to do as a volunteer? But there is so much to do. There's so many little things. Especially once it starts getting a little dark on that particular run, people get confused on where to go, and those volunteers really helped out. And then you have the water, and then medals at that. There's just so many things to do, and I know you appreciate those people very much.
Yeah. If anybody's looking to put on an event, also I do have a really nice presentation that I put together, very detailed. So you want to put on a run or a walk, it could be either one or the other. It's funny, I ran into a group Saturday at one of at the Hanson's Invitational Cross Country Meetup at Stony Creek Metro Park, and the woman is, involved with the National Organization for Leukemia, and happened to have common friends like Joe Burns and so on. We got to talking, and she's very interested in me doing a virtual presentation of my putting on a race for the National Organization for Leukemia, because they're all trying to raise money through runs and walks. And I said, I would be happy to do that. And either people out in some of the local elementaries, you want to put in a little race. What's nice about it, a lot of it's inputs from me, Parks and Rec, working with you guys, things that we've learned collectively, and working with other organizations as well. So we have an opportunity to help others put these together and be successful with theirs. And they're going to have a successful event. It's helping out a good, worthy cause. I'm there to help.
You got it. Well, we know you're a busy man. We appreciate you coming on and sharing all this. And like I said, it goes to a great cause. And I like being involved personally. I like running the races, and always a great job.
Well, thank you. One last little thing in closing. I'm part of the Macomb Race Directors Association. It's a consortium of all the major race people that put on races, and any run can become part of it. And if you run 3 of our events a year, and there's a lot of them, all of my races are included in that, you qualify for a free run and you get a shirt and whatever, and it's coming up on November 4th, the day before the memorial. If you go out to the Eastside Racing Company, check it out. If you've run at least 3 of our races, get a nice shirt, a medal, and different package that they offer. It's a way of rewarding everybody where they can sign up for a race and they don't have to pay.
That's great.
So,
that's great.
All right, well, thank you. I appreciate you giving me a chance to come out.
No problem. Thanks, Mike. We'll be right back after these messages.
The picnic shelters at Riverbend Park are available for rent as far as 1 year in advance at our Parks and Recreation offices. Reservations are available for the Bittersweet, Hickory Grove, and Mapleview shelters. For available dates, please contact the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Department at 586-731-0300. Amenities include a number of picnic tables, 8 grills scattered throughout the park, playscape and disc golf course, horseshoe pits and volleyball nets. For more information and residential and non-residential fees, please call the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Department at 586-731-0300.
Hello and welcome back to Shelby Township Parks and Recreation in the News. Special thanks to Mike Ward and Mike Adams for giving us updated on the many runs that we have coming up here in Shelby Township. Now switching gears, we have Jim Ganesha, our supervisor over at the Shadbush Burgess Nature Center. Jim, thanks for being on the show today.
My
As
pleasure.
always, love
Thanks
to
for
have you
having
on here, keeping us updated with nature news. And first of all, Jim has implemented a new program, the paper recycling program. Jim, tell us a little bit about it over at the Nature Center.
Yes, it's a part of a bigger grant that we just received through the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality, the recycling grant for 2017. And so we're accepting all paper products, books, telephone books, newspapers, magazines, all of that. We have a paper retrieval recycling dumpster. It's a green and yellow recycling dumpster by our Riverbend Park shooting range.
Nice.
And so we will get a portion of the proceeds from that will go to the Nature Center to help us. And then the grant monies from the Michigan Department of Environmental Quality will help to get some recycling programming and some recycling bins going at the Nature Center to help further our mission and be good environmental stewards.
Definitely. So a great way for people to clean out their basements or attics.
Definitely.
And also maybe make a little money off of it for the Nature Center.
Help
and
support our critters and our programming.
Should they bring the books to the Nature Center or right to the dumpster?
They can go right to the dumpster. It's off the Ryan Road entrance of Riverbend Park. And you go down to the shooting range. There's some signs to guide the patrons down that way.
Just make sure you're putting it in the correct dumpster, right?
Right, green and yellow.
Good. Well, very good, Jim. And I know you worked with the Solid Waste and Recycling Committee on this grant, and great job with that. And special thanks to the Recycling Committee as well.
Yes, they provided our local match here for 25% of that funding. So we're very grateful to them for their support, both financially and with the help and the motivation to do this.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jim, on that. And also, we have quite a few events, as you may or may not know, over at the Nature Center. So, Jim, I know we have some old events. Sometimes we have some new events. So, give us a little overview. What do we have going on?
Certainly. Fall School's in full swing, and so are we at the Nature Center. Nature Tales for the fall session. We have opened up that afternoon session, so we have both a morning and a afternoon session, 10 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. It's our Nature Tales preschool story time, story and a craft or a nature hike, or maybe some critter time depending on the weather.
Is there age, I'm sorry, Jim, to interrupt. Is there age restrictions on the Nature Tales?
Typically, it's geared towards preschool age 3 to 5 years old.
That makes sense.
And it runs on the first and third Thursday of each month. There are some deviations, so we always recommend that you check either the website, ShelbyTWP.org, under the Parks and Rec Department, or the News Worth Knowing newsletter that's mailed to all the residents, just to make sure that if there's a holiday or some sort of scheduling conflict, we may cancel an event or something like that.
Understand. Very good. And Jim, I also wanted to talk about, I know with the Nature Tales coming up, the one of my favorites is Fall Family Fun Day. So give us a little overview on that, please.
It's a great time to get out, join us for some cider and donuts. That'll be on Sunday, October the 15th from 11:30 to 3 p.m. Cider, donuts, costume characters up on our upper trail. You can enjoy the fall colors with a nice little hayride on the wagon. And just the costume characters will give you an opportunity to learn about their lives out in the wild. So we do recommend pre-registration for all of our events so that we can help plan for the number of people that will be attending.
And that upper trail, if our residents haven't been there, they should get out there. That's beautiful, the trail up there.
It's long enough to enjoy, but short enough to not get tired. It's totally flat, although it's dirt and it's not paved. It's rather flat, so it's not real treacherous.
Very good. Jim, one of the more popular ones, Halloween's around the corner, so we have the Haunted Nature Center, which we've been doing that for years. And why don't you give us a little overview on that, please?
It's not, we highly recommend, first of all, pre-registration for that event in particular, just because it can speed the process of entry along.
Right.
So prepayment and pre-registration, and we try and do eerie and spooky, not gory or horribly awful, scary stuff.
Kind of more spooky.
Right? Yeah, and just we incorporate a lot of our volunteers in different costumes as well as our animals. We try and incorporate different nature themes into those scenes. So we invite everybody to come join us October 20th and 21st. That would be from 6 to 8 p.m. We do invite the last group into the Nature Center at 7:30. So
very good.
If you're going to walk in by 7:30 each night.
Okay.
And it's $2 per person.
Can't beat that. $2.
Nope. And we do have some pictures on the Facebook page if you want to pre-look at it, see if it's something that is good for and age appropriate for your kids and your family.
Yeah, and I guess one bit of advice, if you're questioning at all if your child will be scared or not, I probably would advise not to bring them.
Yes, or...
I mean, to be honest with you, because it's... you could have, which happened before, is you could have 50 families go through, and 49 of them think it's the greatest thing ever, not scary, but everyone's perception is a little different.
Correct.
So, but if you're worried that your child could be sensitive to being a little spooked, because we're not saying you're going to be scared out of their socks.
No.
But anytime somebody steps around a corner, someone could get scared.
Yeah.
So.
For me, it's more humorous. And,
yes, it is.
And punny than
no,
scary.
You're right. No doubt about it. Now, Jim, the next special guest we're bringing, I guess you would say, is a gentleman who wrote a book called Ant Dreams.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
We're starting sort of a meet the author type of event.
Oh, I like
and
that.
So on Saturday, November 4th, Richard Kruger will be coming. He developed this book, and it's a book of miniatures. And so he took little pictures of things that he created, took the pictures and illustrated the book with these pictures of these scenes. And it's all about ants and different bugs and their dreams. And it's a really cool book, and it's a one of a kind. It's not been published. But he'll be coming to the Nature Center to do a book reading, share his photos and his illustrations with everybody, and then we'll be doing like a little miniature craft afterwards
What
for
a
the
great idea,
little
Jim.
ones. So
I like that. You know, the Nature Center is such a beautiful facility, and I like the idea you do start doing book readings at the Nature Center, and you know,
it's
a little
a great
craft.
opportunity to meet the author and for him to
Yeah.
get some exposure and share his creations with
I
the
love
public.
it.
So
Good job, Jim. Always nice to have different programs going on.
definitely.
Very good. And the last thing, just wanted, you know, some people may say, hey, I've never been to the Nature Center before. What are some different ways that we can find the Nature Center, both physically and on social media?
We're on Facebook at Burgess Shadbush Nature Center. You can like our page and stay updated on all of our coming events and different news from the Nature Center. And we are located in Riverbend Park off the Ryan Road entrance. That's on the east side of Ryan Road, in between Auburn and Hamlin. In between Auburn and 22, I'm sorry.
Correct.
In Shelby Township, it's 4101 Riverbend Drive. And you can always call us 586-323-2478 or visit the website www.ShelbyTWP.org under the Parks and Recreation page.
Very good. There you have Jim Ganesha, Shadbush Burgess Nature Center Supervisor. Jim, once again, I mean, it's a wonderful job you're doing over at the Nature Center. Can't thank you enough. All the different programs and the numbers that have increased since you've taken over there, and the different programming and new programming you and Megan are doing. Great job. Keep up the great work. We know our residents appreciate it.
Thanks very much.
All right, Jim, thanks for being on.
Thank you.
Take care. And for our Shelby residents, please remember here at Shelby Township Parks and Rec, we create community through people, parks, and programs. Hope to see you in one of the parks soon.
Utica taking on Port Huron in volleyball. Early on, Haley Murdick spiking this one down. And Claire Feeman for the Utica Chieftains going right back at the Big Reds. Big block right here for Katie O'Connor. Kaylee Ebling. Too much to handle for defenders. Claire Feeman was a big part of this one. She was on the attack. And finishing off the set was Monet Knowles with this block. Utica takes this one 25-20. Second set, Raylene Sobetsky off of the back row defender. Party ball for Monet Knowles, and she takes advantage. And with the block as well, Monet Knowles. Port Huron clawing their way back. Courtney Thomason with an ace. And another ace right here, Courtney Thomason. But Utica would fight back. Claire Feeman was on the attack here. Back and forth battle. This time, Emma Hillebrandt just out of the reach of Utica defenders. Raylene Sobetsky with another point for the Chieftains. Emma Trombley answers right back with another for the Big Reds. Raylene Sobetsky taking charge, giving the Chieftains the lead. And ending the set with an ace, Abby Rissman. Utica with a 26-24 advantage. Claire Feeman getting the final set, started off on the right foot. And an ace for the Utica Chieftains, Samantha Gailey. Port Huron had no answer for Claire Feeman, spiking it down. Back-to-back aces for Claire Feeman and Raylene Sobetsky. Katie O'Connor and Monet Knowles put up the wall and deny the Port Huron attack. Now on the attack, Katie O'Connor, and Utica's pulling away. Claire Feeman and Alyssa Jacob teaming up to block here. And the game set match point is a denial by Monet Knowles and Samantha Gailey. Utica will win in straight sets. Final set score 25-15.